Welcome to Sitemorse. In this demonstration I will introduce the accessibility category of a Sitemorse report. So here we're looking at the accessibility summary page. So Sitemorse assesses WCAG2 standards, which is Web Content Accessibility Guidelines 2 as defined by the W3C, the World Wide Web Consortium. So WCAG2 has 3 levels of conformity: single A, double A and triple A. So single A is priority 1 requirements that must be met, or it's impossible for some groups to access some of the web content. Double A is priority 2 requirements that should be met, or some groups will find access to the site difficult. And triple A is priority 3 requirements that may be met to make the site easier for some groups. So priority 1, 2 and 3 here. This here is 10 Sitemorse accessibility priorities that we recommend looking at first from experience, mainly from single A priorities, and these 10 are shown here with red highlighting the actions that need looking at. So here we have F65, failure of success criterion 1.1.1 due to omitting the alt attribute on image elements, area elements and input elements of type image. Select anywhere on this red. There'll always be a link to the official documentation so you can read about the accessibility requirement. Short description, F65, image has no alt text. The Sitemorse will show a line number as well as a view page and a highlight on source option. If you select the line number, it will show a snapshot and highlight that line in source it's looking at. So hover over here. Image has no alt text and image has no alt attribute. So if a screen reader was in use for someone who is partially sighted or blind, it would look for an alt text for this image to describe to the user what this image is. So it just needs an alt equals with a description there. So the view page option will also show the page in a kind of view page view, and it will highlight the accessibility issues, which you can then hover over, and you can also click next and previous to step through these. The final option here, highlight and source, is much like the jump to line number, and we'll show the source of this page. If we go back to the accessibility summary page, so these 10 priorities here can be emailed to anybody. Even if they're not a Sitemorse client, you just type in the email address there and click send email, and they'll be able to view those. Particularly useful perhaps if you wanted to forward these accessibility priorities to an external agency. So these charts here, this is just saying that 16% of the pages are without priority issues, 2% without single A issues, 17% of the assessed pages without AA issues, and 13% without AAA there. So these charts can also be clicked on and selected. So if we select the single A chart, it will open and show all of the single A requirements that need looking at. So F30, failure of success criterion 1.1.1 and 1.2.1 due to using text alternatives that are non-alternatives, e.g. file names and placeholder text. Click anywhere on that, show a short description, alt text alt is placeholder text. Click on the line number or snapshot icons. To highlight that line, so you've got an image there and it's using placeholder text for this, so that should be a suitable description for this image. So when you're looking at a snapshot at any point, if you just want to look at the live page in question that was assessed, you can always click on this page link and it will show you the live page associated with that. If we click back on the accessibility summary page again and click on the single A chart, so it will also show you this option here, show only PDF checks. So Sitemorse also checks accessibility issues within PDFs. So here we've got PDF1, applying text alternatives to images with the alt entry in PDF documents. Click on that. PDF images missing alt text. So here we have page 1 of this PDF. And so this image here requires some alt text. For example, for screen readers. So if you have any questions, please do contact Sitemorse. Thank you.